We formally assess every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks. So we have a 3 and a 6 weeks. And that is a common assessment that every teacher in that grade level gives.
Is this one that the district provides, or is this just a Sam Houston assessment?
It's a Sam Houston assessment. Now then, where we get our questions from, because to make sure that we are asking valid, very solid
Right.
questions, and we actually do pull from old STAR tests.
Okay.
So
These
their
are old
assessments-
release tests. What do you do
Oh,
in
yeah.
math since there's only one release star in math, what do you use for math?
Well, in math there is with the vertical alignment. For example, when the TEKS moved down and up, we are able to look at the vertical piece. So, say, I'm just going to use an example, comparing and ordering rational numbers went from 8th grade to 6th grade.
Right.
We can look at those 8th grade questions that were tested in STAR for 8th
Okay.
grade.
Okay.
And so
I see. So you still use some of those
we
then.
still use
So
those.
when are these tests unit-based, or are they cumulative? I mean, do they include everything? Are they spiraling from everything they've had?
They are spiraling.
Okay.
We look back at, when we look at data, we look back at TEKS that we did perform low in on previous 3-week assessments.
Okay.
And so in those questions, we will pull back in.
Okay.
At random times, we do track our TEKS on where the teachers will be writing in, and then that goes back to some data, but with teachers are tracking on a heat map
Okay.
on that, so they see their star for that TEK.
Okay.
And then for every time they test it, they can see how those kids are doing. Are we progressing?
Okay.
Are we going backwards? So
You may have said this, so these are Sam Houston tests. Who creates these tests?
the teachers create
The
them.
teachers create them. So they get together and pull questions that they think are appropriate at that time.
During PLC.
Okay. Do they? So those are the major assessments. Do you have cluster assessments that you use?
We do have cluster assessments, but that is on a semester test.
That's all you have in middle school. That's on a semester basis.
Yes.
Okay. So then teachers are encouraged they can test more frequently on their own and.
We
and this type of
actually
thing?
have a campus base. We do test formally where we do run data every 3 weeks. However, every Friday teachers give a 5-question
Okay.
open-ended test for what was taught just that week.
Okay.
And that way, you know what, so they don't get to that 3-week test and
Right.
say, oh, oops, they didn't know it,
Okay.
So we go through and and this still goes it all overlaps, but during PLC, we do look at data and do 3-stack on those mini tests every Tuesday.
Okay. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer
No,
to what
you're
I'm going to
good.
ask. Are y'all going to give a full-fledged simulation of a release star test this year?
There is some, I know ELA is giving a full-fledged
Okay.
one. And math is not, and the only reason is because that semester test
Right.
covered almost 75% of the material.
Okay.
So it was already.
Okay, so it was already kind of like that anyway.
It was already a major test. So
Okay.
we in order to not over-test,
Right.
we feel that our 3 and 6 weeks.
So these
Going
3 and
forward.
6 weeks tests, as far as length, does it require a change in scheduling?
It
So
does
that
not.
Okay.
We have changed this year to help with our special ed population and the
Okay.
new, they used to could take the test. They take the test online. We felt that is not what's best for our students.
Okay.
So we have created a new testing schedule within the day
Okay.
to help students, and we have seen our special ed numbers start going
Okay.
back up. So
Okay.
that's really promising.